Greeting once again. My name is Russ Hatfield, and you may know my twin soul behind my shoulder, who is a higher dimensional member of Ashtar Command stationed on Hades base, Kara. The challenge session for November is called Greenhouse Designs and a Meta-Concert Dissertation. We have a few notes to go over before starting. November is here, and the challenge session for the month focuses on three main areas: astral travel, greenhouse design, and meta-concert lessons. Well, Tia gets us going with a discussion on her favorite topic of astral travel and how some have the skill in abundance and some less so. We should point out that the reason the topic came up was about a question on Mark's astral travel ability and my inability to come close to his level. As a Grand Master in the skill, he was able to spend more time on the base than he was down here on Earth. The next note is about Tia mentioning the boats. She's talking about some scale RC models of sailing boats Mark and I had that we would race against each other. The next note is about the book mentioned in the session called 2150 from Thea Alexander and concerns a man who moved forward in time from 1975 to 2150 in his astral form and tries to find ways to stay in that future time. That, then, is the end of Tia's time talking, so we move on to Kiri, who would use up the rest of the side to help with plans for a greenhouse that Mark and I were considering building. What can barely be heard is that while she is talking, Kiri is using Mark's body to sketch out the plans being discussed. The problem we had to plan for was the multiple feet of snow that could be deposited on a structure's roof within just a few hours at 6,500 feet. Side 2 starts off with Kara, and the behind-the-scenes note for her time talking are that Kiri hung around within the channeling field so that both sisters would be using Mark's body for this session. Kara would do the talking, and Kiri would move the body as needed. When we talk about healing Carrie in the session, she was someone down here who was suffering from a cancerous tumor that was eventually cured through a base meta-concert. Before that, though, we were trying different things, including herbology as a natural option for her. Kara doesn't stay on long to give Omal time for the planned dissertation on meta-concerts. With that, Omal uses the rest of the tape to cover a very important subject. The most important note not covered in the summary would be that the oaths not that are mentioned concerned the protection of the young. The two people mentioned in the aggressive meta-concert were fulfilling an oath that for them, was unbreakable. Those using such means to an end take on the karma, good or bad. The sound on side 2 isn't as good as on side 1, so a transcript may come in handy. So, for that full transcript of this latest channeling session, please go to our main homepage at HadesBaseNews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. Now, we present our latest entry into the Hades Base archives, recorded in 1995. Greenhouse Designs and a Meta-Concert Dissertation.
What does it mean to be a gentleman?
That would be gentle, male, I guess, she would call it.
That is total, utter bunk. Never heard so much tosh. Do you want to hear what my definition of a gentleman is?
Also,
Okay. It's a person, a man, that treats women with respect, always does the right thing, never complains, listens to criticism, puts up with irresponsible persons, smiles when somebody makes some rash statement, doesn't fight back when somebody makes nasty, rude comments about the individual, laughs at bad jokes, is always polite and courteous in society. Always tries to do the right thing.
Now, is that pretty every single female?
Every single female. I know some that do try.
Oh, I. You tried.
Okay, down to business. Okay, at the end of the session, we're going to work on your astral travel.
Okay.
Okay? But to start off with, we will start off with questions and answers to me. Whilst you look at your notes, I will continue with our program that we have planned for this evening. First of all, we will do astral travel, and then engineering, and then herbalism, and then finally meta-concert practice and construction on how to construct a meta-concert, and then finally the practical on astral travel.
Okay. Now then, in astral travel, I've noticed that there are two kinds.
Mm-hmm.
One which I do and one which Marx does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, being that I'm having most of my difficulty in going from one to the other, do you see it as, I mean, we've always talked about patience and all, but for some reason I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I always see it's just time.
Now, what did I say a long time ago?
Patience.
Besides patience.
Practice.
Besides practice. There's one thing that I've always maintained. Tara's a good example. So's Kieran. Alana. I'm not a good example. Neither is Rika. Neither is Athena. Okay, what differentiates?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Besides the fact that they're all serious, you're not.
Is Lyca's not a Syrian?
The
The three that I had mentioned has one thing in common.
welcome to my side of the family.
Come on, be serious. You're missing the blindingly
I
obvious.
am, and the blame of it is that they're all tall. I mean,
Am I tall?
no, that's what I mean.
Is Athena tall? What differentiates Lyca, Athena, and myself from Kiri, Kara, and Alana?
You're all astral travelers.
Correct.
Why do that?
Mm-hmm. Now, why is it that we are better astral travelers than they are?
Well, for the obvious reason is that you have that skin in abundance,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've always said that, it was doubtful I had that in abundance.
That's right. So don't be so despondent and disappointed. You may never be able to do deep jumps like Mark, which may be very fortuitous because, what's happening to Mark's body?
Well, before Mark did deep jumps, he could get out of his body, go travel to Europe, or wherever he wanted to go to, and he's not physical form, but much more solid form than I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the difference there?
The fact is that Mark is an astral traveller.
Right.
What do you strongest in? Right.
Yeah, communication.
The primary function of an individual, which would be, in your case, healing, right? And everything else is secondary. It doesn't matter how good you are, but your primary function is human. It's all around you, your equipment to heal.
So in other words, this is exactly what I've been saying all along. It's the fact that, okay, I'm going to reach a peak, and that's going to be it.
Not necessarily.
Okay. There's going to be higher points in that once in a while.
Possibly, yes, once in a while. For example, you have how many good examples? 2 good examples. Of peaks. So, of course, yes, twins. Right, I count the cubs as 1 sometimes.
Well, I don't. I count as 3.
Well, occasionally I'll go, I've got the cubs, and that's 1. Hello. Very spicy.
So now, with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then in other words, I should stop all the frustrations I'm going through
Mm-hmm.
because I've always been that I would get to Mark's point at some future point. And
You probably could in some future.
future life, maybe.
No, come on, think positive. That is your problem, is that you're not thinking positively. You always have that doubt. Does Mark have any doubt in his ability?
It isn't that. He knows to get to where he wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately don't have that experience. I don't have this. I know I'll get to where I'm going, but not in as physically as Mark. And
It's a typical. I find it very entertaining watching you two sometimes. This boating thingy of yours is a prime example.
well, that's just fun, and we're just beating around.
But you're both very competitive to each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not serious.
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is that there are some things that you excel in tremendously, that are way better than me. And then there are things that Mark excels way better than you do.
Of course.
I mean, you're both eloquent communicators, but can Mark sit down and have the patience to mess around with the computer, whereas you do? Does Mark have the patience to sit down and listen to somebody complain on how bad their life is going and what's going wrong and the fact that they're not making enough money and that they keep on losing their jobs and that could you lend them some money and help them out of their problems? Does Mark have patience for that?
I see what it is. Okay, so basically what we're looking at is the fact that, I'll just keep maintaining and a positive attitude that I have. I know my ability,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go ahead and push toward that ability to achieve what I want to achieve. And, at some point it's going to get better. Like, for example, today,
Mm-hmm.
I had a great fast travel session. It was only for a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but I did make translation from third to fifth.
Mm-hmm. And everything down there became very mute and hard to hear, correct?
Right. Whereas, it was my consciousness was going on.
Yes, but it's like a little bit foggy around the edges.
Okay. So basically, just try to push myself from that point there,
Mm-hmm.
but don't try to reach for things that are way out of my bounds, like DJ.
Shoot for the stars. That's my goal. Or that should be your goal, rather. Mark does suffer from depression to the fact that he has to come back to going to where he works at night time and sitting down and being a night owl in the dark. Not so much the loneliness, this, I've sat down and talked about it. It's the fact that he wants to be up here with all his friends and buddies, but he doesn't want to leave down there permanently because he's got good friends and buddies down there.
Well, it reminds me of that book that we read, 2150, where John was able to translate up to 2150, but really didn't look forward to going back to 1975, but knew that was where his life was. He had, the incentive to always be in 2150, so he always worked on improving himself in 1975, which is where I see us at right now. The carrot is in front of the donkey. And all we're doing now is we're pushing ourselves harder and harder to get that carrot.
Okay. We've sidetracked from the main point.
Okay. Now then, now with my going into my astral travel, the only way I've seen so far that I'm able to achieve that consciousness in fifth dimension, the perception, is if I go ahead and translate directly from here to our room Hades space with no transit time as far as, going through, shutting out the things and
It's becoming...
seeing myself come up. Because of the fact I go to sleep.
It's come to the point where things are almost automatic, correct?
Yeah, I just
See, that's a
see
definite
myself
improvement.
there. Yeah, well, yeah. Because when I try it the other way now, I just go, it's too slow. I go right to sleep. So I have to see myself there and just make the jump, the perception change.
Okay.
So now that's what I want to ask you about, is that perception change. What is taking place during that if I can go from here and the next second I'm perceiving Hades space?
But what you're doing is you're actually working yourself up to it beforehand, correct?
Right.
You go, okay, I'm going to go to see Mistress Longlegs.
Okay.
And your body goes, okay. And it starts doing all the problems, all the workout, and your legs feel weak, right?
Yeah.
And that you have to lie down. What's happening?
But my body is automatically going through the same things I just spend 10 minutes getting myself prepped up.
Okay, so what you do is you're lying down, correct? And even when you're lying down, you're already out of your body.
Yeah.
Right? Or you have the feeling that you're lying down, correct?
Yeah.
Right, and you feel all kind of, things don't feel quite real.
Right.
Right, you close your eyes.
Right.
And you start to visualize. Right. Now what you're doing is, whilst you're visualizing, is that you're actually traveling. And then for the first 5 minutes whilst you're there, is Clara coaxing you and recalling you and interacting with your subconscious, and then finally,
Conscious up.
right. Instead of visualizing, it's actually happening. Because you know the apartment so well, like down here, you have the pyramid. Like that. You have a futon right here. You have a box, a black bookcase, people with pictures. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and I've got vision of my apartment up there.
Mm-hmm. The same way.
Right, and usually I'll come in the same spot next to that bookcase over on the wall, or I'll come in the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I see what you're talking about. So because I had problems thinking that what I'm doing is actually astral projection.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it just seems like, I'm still conscious of, what's going on down here, what I had for breakfast or something, for example.
But then all of a sudden, like you've been up there for 5-10 minutes, right? You're no longer thinking of that.
Right.
You're more focused on Clara's long legs and hair. Suppose you could look at that scare. or whatever she's wearing.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to get from you, basically, was the fact that, okay, I'm achieving what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, good. So for me, I like it because I like being able to just, be there. So now knowing that, you and I can work on how to improve on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to let you know what I'm doing so that we can work on something about it.
Carry on talking. Even though Kiri's manipulating things, I can actually hear and see and feel what's going on.
Oh, that's why it's security.
Yeah, she's going to get pecked up for her. This is very disconcerting, you know.
Oh yeah, you should look at it from my side.
Well, I'm trying to talk and Kiri's trying to control and look down and find her space for her sketch that she's doing. Okay. Now, whilst I lose all focus, okay. I'll pause the tape for her. Right. We will continue talking as Kiri draws for you. Okay.
Okay, now then. In other matters concerning after projection,
Mm-hmm.
there is a point where, I'm up there, but I'm not really sure what I'm seeing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not sure if it's my desire to see something is making me see it, or if I'm really seeing it. So how do you determine between the two?
By touching.
Look at touching.
Let's reach out and touch it. It's a little fuzzball.
Oh, because, well, I can go start doing some, using this astral projection thing I'm doing now down here to start working on 3D.
What you can do to help is, let me see. What you can do to help. A way to improve it. Yes. A little experiment we ran this morning with my adorable daughter, or one of my adorable daughters, was that we were working on a program of visualization. Oh, you were? What did he tell you?
Imagine seeing what you got to see outside.
Mm-hmm. And how will that help? Well, that is... Now, what you do is look at that bookcase, right? Now, see the book set, see all the stuff on it, right? The jars and the untidiness on the bottom there, right? And visualize, see all of that, keep your eyes on, don't close them. And over the top of that, overlay something else. For example, little potted trees there, plus what you actually see. See the green trees. See the pots that they're in, whether they're blue, green, purple, orange, red, or tan, silver, feline. See all those things. Okay. So, you visualize and overlay it. Okay? And I have a great idea for Kiri. If whilst we do the workup on your astral travel and the practical, she works on that. Okay. Thank you, Kiri. Yes, I am ring mistress. Thank you. So, You overlay things over the top of it. Okay?
How's that going to happen?
Practice it first and you'll see that it will help. Because it helps you with your visualization. That is the first step. If you're not a natural talent, we're using it as a way of boosting an individual's capabilities.
You practice it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to put on the next person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it? Huh?
Okay, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we're discussing engineering.
Yes.
Now, in that respect, we're talking about greenhouses here.
Yes. So we will need pen and paper again. Okay. Right. You want to come over here so I don't have to keep on picking it up and showing it to you? Okay. There's the floor. Right. This is the top. This is the side view. If you remember, we were talking to Kerry about when she was doing plans, side view, and so on. Okay, let us scale it down. Okay, side view, then we'll do a scale view. Yeah, this would be a lot easier if I had a drafting board, but you don't have one, so I will improvise. Okay. Now, supports. Okay, there's one support. There's the other support for the wheel. So you do it in support sections. You have support. Right, let's widen these to show them up easier. In fact, it would be better to do it that way when you build. Now, the problem you're going to have is with wind, correct? Mm-hmm. So what you're going to do, right?
I assume you're using heavy-duty plastic for this.
Of course. Because the wind will make it act like a sail. Now you want to spread it out, right? But you want it to have something to staple for the roof. Right. This is the side view. So what you do is you've got your clear plastic, right?
And these are posts the same size as the other ones, right?
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Okay. So that's your side view. Now let's do plans. Okay. This is a plan view. Keep talking so that there isn't dead space on the tape.
Okay. Now, there's going to be shelves inside of this, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. You have the two supports going up.
That's where you've got the supports. You see.
So your shelves are going to be fitting onto supports for the shelves on each of those. Okay.
No, I could have made it as an architect back home. Although it's very difficult with perception, but this would be in the centre actually. In fact, I think that's the centre. That's the centre line over there. That's what it is, isn't it? Oh well. Yeah. Never mind. Okay, so you would have here. You would have your supports, right?
Mm-hmm.
There. And this would be your back fence right here. Okay. You would have a tree about here. Another tree here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are your roofing supports right here. Right. And then you would have your wall supports right there and there.
Those are on the ground.
Where they'd be on the ground and there, right, and here. Now the top ones would also act as a gutter, right? Also, you'd have diagonal supports coming down through there, right? For strength in the roof. Again, you might want to run one diagonally across, like that, okay, which will give you extra strength on the roof. You see, because you're going to have to worry about support of the snow, or actually, better skill would be to miss effect. Right? Now, how to join those? Let's do a little. Here, you cut out a piece of wood like that, and you would set another one on top.
Right.
Okay?
All right. Now where's the door?
Okay, the door would be right here, right? And I believe that's how you do doors. Right?
Close enough.
Close enough. So you'd have the door right there. Okay? And in actual fact, it'd be better if you had it so it's swung on this side. So let's cross that out. And let's put the door here. Okay? That's better.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for ventilation, because it gets frightfully hot in there, you would, let's go to the back view. And I won't bother about doing side views. You already have the side view. Okay? Well, I'll let you work out the measurements and everything. Or actually, ask Mark. Mark has a little bit of drafting skill. What was that?
Mark's close to interesting.
I'm sorry. I'll go fetch it in a second.
She's sorry, Mark.
Yeah. So, this is what you would do. Right. To make life nice and easy, what you would actually do is prefabricate it. Okay? And then you'd put the door right there. Simple as that. Okay? So there's your door.
Well, you're talking about ventilation. I assume we just keep the door open.
Not necessarily. What you do is you do a little square window here, right? And you have it so it's a hinge. Simple as that. And you have one at each end so you get a draft through.
A square window in clear plastic.
Easy. Piece of cake. Supports there and there.
Right.
Simple.
Okay.
Floor supports. Okay.
All right. And so you have a window at each end.
Correct.
Okay. Then you have your shelves.
And your shelves would attach to the posts. So you'd build your shelf, right? Here's your wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your support there, right? And the reason why I brought it out so you can actually see it, all right? Okay, these are your wall supports here, right? There's your supports inside. You put the shelf on top like this, and then you drive another piece down here. And then you build these in slats like this, which is for drainage and so on. Okay, you got that?
No.
Why not? What's wrong?
What was this last part? Slats. Where they go?
They'd go on the shelf here.
Oh, I see. So it's going to drip down onto the plants below.
Yeah, you have parts up here and then parts down there. You don't necessarily, you could do one section in here and have this with whatever you want there, and then put in benches in there, or you can make benches so that they can lift up and move out.
Okay, now is this going to be on ground level, so you're walking on dirt?
I don't follow.
In other words, the floor.
Yes, the floor will be on ground level.
So it'd be all dirt you're walking.
Yeah. Okay.
Good job. That's good.
Right.
Our fence
Mm-hmm.
is 6 foot high. You could probably look over it.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Just a tad bit. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if that's 6 foot high,
Mm-hmm.
and you want the door to be above your head,
Mm-hmm.
that means that the roof is going to start at the top of the fence level.
Not necessarily. If you have a look on the picture, you'll notice it's slightly angled. One side is higher than the other.
Right?
That's taken into consideration the back part of the fence being used possibly as part of the wall.
Okay.
Saves on construction material.
All right. Now then, there's going to be periods where shade is going to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But the heat that's retained in there is going to be what keeps it going.
Okay. And this isn't to be used all year round.
Oh yeah, you can use it all year round. The thing is that you have to make the angle steep enough that the snow just slides off. And if it does accumulate on there, all you have to do is go out there and push.
Right, but I mean, the temperature inside the greenhouse in the wintertime is going to drop precipitously.
Correct.
And so, any plants in there will tend to want to die.
Or go dormant. However, what you can do is you can put a heater in there. Or what you can do is you dig a ditch and you have a very long electrical cable.
Cost.
Correct. But we can discuss that at a later time. But it will give delicate herbs an earlier start, the ones that you're going to plant year after year after year. And you can have things in there like sage that will be protected, even though it will go dormant, it will still be protected. And you can protect thyme in there, and it will give it an earlier time to fire back up. Okay?
Right. That's it.
Okay. I believe this site's about to run out anyway, which is very useful because we'll take a slight intermission and we'll get some fluid in it.
Oh, tea.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that would do. I believe there is some out there that is microwave and was deliberately set up for this purpose.
I was thirsty.
On Friday, pleased to meet you.
I would consider it.
Mm-hmm. You know, Robinson Crusoe was the only person that used to get all his work done by Friday. Okay. Thank you. They have the field wide and to the next person so that I can do controls whilst she does the talking. Guess who it is? Hello. We're having the same problem that my sister had with tea just now. Yes. We're both fighting the controls. You can tell what Kiri's doing and what aren't it.
Herbology.
Herbology.
No.
Yeah.
Descriptions and various.
Okay, the carpetives can work. And the narcotics. But nothing that is illegal, such as cannabis.
No.
No, that's
Is based on
actually what you can do is you put out and sprint in your dictionary, see who made it. Who invented aspirin. And I think his name was Aspirin. It's a movie I once saw where a young Einstein is being sent to the nut farm. And he talks to this gentleman, and the gentleman goes, "My name's Aspirin. I'm into drugs. What are you in for?"
I haven't seen that movie.
I believe it's called Young Einstein.
Yeah, much better stories.
It's funny. Funny, huh? Be serious. But I am very serious. Hey, there's double I.
Last speech.
Curie in camera show.
Yes.
Intelligent.
It's good.
Genius. Well, you can look it up later.
Okay.
Okay, so let us continue.
Oh, here we go. A light crystalline compound derivative of salicylic acid used especially as a antipyretic and analgesic. It's got a new formula there. And what does it say? CH3COOC chemical compounds, right?
What you do is you get out your periodic table and look at the chemical compounds. And you don't have a periodic table, do you?
There is no salicylic.
Okay. So what we do is we go with carnatives.
American elder,
Mm-hmm.
balm,
Mm-hmm.
basil, birch, black elder, buckweed, chamomile, catnip, fennel,
Mm-hmm.
fragrant valerian, French tree, garden thyme, ginger, lavender, mugwort, nettle, pennyroyal, we've got that. Peppermint, we've got that. Primrose, radish, red eyebright, rose, rosemary, sage, savory.
Now, stop reading them, right? And remember something that we did for Carrie. Think back when she was here and what we got her to do. What did we make for her? What herbs were they?
Basil, thyme, rosemary,
Mm-hmm.
parsley,
Mm-hmm. Sage.
sage.
An assortment of mints. And garlic.
Well, we certainly have enough things for headache here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but getting back to Carrie.
Okay.
Okay, what did we do for her?
And yeah, we made a tea out.
Correct. Which did what? Two effects.
Calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
And smelled it.
We're getting to aromatherapy later. Okay?
And
Calm the venom, right? And it cured the aches and pains that she was suffering at the time with human bacteria. But it took it away from her, soothed her, let her, the aches and pains go away.
well, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we go ahead and anyway, I was looking for this picture. And under all those
Wait a second. We go ahead and what?
we'll go ahead and start doing all this fun stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I was looking through this book here, and throughout all of the book, there are, through that section that said headache, all around that are all the symptoms of the herbs. And each symptom had something like 20 herbs in there next to it.
Okay.
So, if all these herbs are used for, if all the same herb is used for all these different things, how do you
Dosage. The more severe the symptom, the more the dosage.
Right, but let's say you want to use rosemary
Mm-hmm.
to deal with a headache.
Mm-hmm.
But rosemary, let's say, is also good for cramps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But if you've got a headache and you take rosemary, you're not going to have cramps as well, are they?
So it's a cure-all.
Correct. Now, talking of rosemary, I noticed that you have some out there that needs attending to.
Right, I was going to ask you about it.
Yes, start plucking the lower branches, right? Just pluck off the leaves and put them on a dry newspaper, right? Put them somewhere where they're going to dry. And when they dry, you grind them up.
All right, so with the mortar and pestle, once these are dried, nothing needs them to look to bake.
And you can use them for cooking and so on.
Now, with the advent of the greenhouse, then I can increase my supply of rosemary to much larger amounts.
Correct. I mean, I think rosemary is hardly enough to survive up at your altitude, correct?
If it's indoors,
It won't survive outdoors?
not in the winter. Now, in the summertime, it survives great outdoors.
But it goes storming through in the winter, correct? But that doesn't matter. You have some indoors and some outdoors. I believe you have a container that is usable for indoors, correct? And use it.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an indoor greenhouse up against that window. Up that back.
You just extend the function that you have there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've got to hand over to the next person.
See?
I believe this next part's going to take quite a while.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why I cut Tara short is, as correctly said, this next part is going to take quite a while. Okay? So we've got a set markup that will be easier for communication and so on. Okay. Now, you will need energy crystal.
Okay. Got it.
Okay? Right, I'm going to warm it up, or rather put it in Mark's hands to warm up, and set the process in motion for it to be warmed up as we change over. Okay. Greetings and felicitations for us. And how are you going?
Well.
Okay, well, let us proceed with us end dissertation from the dissertation last week to round up our discussion on metaconcept. Okay. Now, having constructed your metaconcept and decided what program you're going to be running, how you wish to run it, the components necessary, you now select a target. Now, what I will do is I will do a dry run, due to the fact that I believe the crystals are about the personage of Mark at the moment, and we do not want to erase his astral travel crystal. Okay. Let us say you are using a focusing stone or a focusing crystal. You hold it in your hands. The reason why we're using an energy crystal at this time is so that we can actually demonstrate feel the energy. Okay. Now, how are you really feeling?
Relatively easy.
Just a bit tired? Okay, so now you will feel the energy. And let us assume you are the focusing target. And the only thing that you feel at this time is the energy coming from crystal into your sense. Now, having constructed the metaconcepts, as I have said, deciding on the various metaconcepts, you will select your target. The target being, in this case, Russell. And you can select the strength of energy that you wish to send in that direction. In this case, what we are doing is increasing the power directed at Russ to increase his energy, so he is no longer disorientated. Power up the crystal. This is my own personal technique with it, so on the centre of the chest and the arms. Select the target. Block. You let the energy flow down your arms in the case of energy being fired. And directed at the individual. And the energy will come out of the crystal in a nice fine beam and spread out over the auric field around the individual. You feel it? How much it moves? Okay, let us lighten this up. What do you feel now? Okay. Now, the function of doing that is to increase your energy. It's spread out through your auric field. Now, we use Mark's energy in this case. And what we did was use his natural energy, focused it entirely to your direction, which had a twofold purpose. This is to energize you. The second purpose is what? By using Mark's energy, if he ever learns how to focus it like I did. What's occurred? No idea. You feel happy, content, energized. But it's something very important. It will be in your next discussion. Our next discussion that we do next week will be shielding. And that was Mark's energy. He's quite capable. He figures out how to focus and direct it. Penetrating his shield. You have the clamp issues which are sliced through by the butter. But metaconcepts. Now, you construct your metaconcept. You select your target. You take an aim. You fire. Now, there are different types of energy that you can use. For example, if you use energy like I use, which is just your fuzzy energy, that warms up the individual, distributes energy all over. If you use a laser energy, the way that it works is when you fire energy at somebody to help them increase their circulation, you use a red coloured or hostile laser is either white or blue. So there is one that is red, two that is white, and blue. Why the difference? The difference being the fact that red signifies warmth, whereas white signifies cold, as does blue. Directing a white laser beam at a target is a way of stopping the target. Firing of blue laser beam is a way of repelling the target. You select a target, then you fire a blue beam at it, and you move.
you want to get away from. Other purposes of the medical research, healing. That is Clara's field of she will deal with addresses at a later time. She has also addressed it in the past. Psychokinesis, moving things, or psychokinetics have their various functions and is used with metaconcept. Manifestations, again, you can use that in the metaconcept. You can use manifestation in combination with various things. Manifestation is used with PK and healing. Shielding also. So by constructing the metaconcept, it has many primary functions. Then, after this session is over, depending on the amount of time that you have, I suggest that you do a twofold metaconcept with two individuals. You'll select yourself as the executive. That is what you have done in the past. You use Mark as conductor. Now, what we want you to do is to ignite a candle. And Mark will collect and send the energy to you. Now, we don't want you to go into terminating the candle. You'll purposefully to move the flame in a predetermined direction. Okay. Energy in the metaconcept is energy. It depends on what type of metaconcept you're using. If you're using a metaconcept that is constructed for peaceful purposes, it doesn't really matter how many male to female ratio you have. If you construct a metaconcept in a hostile, you will want more males, less females. However, there are some females that are just as aggressive or even more aggressive than males. If you're doing a very, very peaceful, lovey-dovey type of metaconcept, you will use more women. But it depends on the abilities of the individuals. For example, you have an incredibly powerful healer that is a male, that does not need as many females. So it depends more on the individuals that are being used. For example, if you were to take your away with an apprentice, she has an extreme ability to be quite aggressive at times. So therefore, should she be used in a metaconcept for healing or a metaconcept for exterminating the things? No, it doesn't really matter at that point. Take, for example, an incident that happened back in March, an individual that is known to be not a particularly nice individual was selected by two individuals, and they use their abilities in their various forms that they're capable of to cause harm to the individual. If you ever take an oath, then it is necessary to understand taking an oath first. Okay. That is what is necessary to look at the big picture, is what good will it achieve? Obviously, in the case that was described, your legal system failed to do what it was supposed to do. The individual committed the crime again, or later with another girl, that he previously committed with his own daughter. So therefore, not only did he commit the sin of pedophile, but also of incest. And then he went on and committed another sin with another young lady. In that situation, it is necessary to take actions.
Now, for me, though, I saw it as him working on flawed information.
Whether or not it was flawed, his actions, or the actions of both gentlemen, were commendable in they did what they believed to be correct, and that they used their abilities to deal with an individual that is a potential harmful threat. Not only is this individual a pedophile, but he is also a very corrupt coercer. He has destroyed marriage, which is more and more evident. He has used his abilities for his own personal gain. So therefore, what must be done? It must be stopped. And in itself, that is a learning experience for the two individuals. In the junior individual's case, it was, would he break an oath and go, no, I will not do this, and therefore maybe condemn himself to have to take the oath again? Or by obeying his oath, would he commit the sin of doing something wrong to right a wrong? So therefore it is a catch-22, which is the lesser of the two evils. No matter which way the individual went, there would be harm done. How does he deal with it is the solution.
What about the cognitive implications that we talked about? Hostile actions with metaconcept.
Hostile actions with the metaconcept, it depends on what the overall outcome is to achieve. If it is to achieve a good goal, then by destroying maybe one or two individuals, it will do good. However, by destroying good individuals, it does harm. So you have to decide whether or not the individuals are doing good or bad. You have to stand back and weigh the odds, and that's it. The only person that can do that is the executive. Is he doing the correct job that he's supposed to be doing? Is he doing it for good, for his own personal gains, or is he doing it believing what he is doing is right, when in actual fact it is wrong? A good example of a metaconcept that is designed for good, if in actual fact is bad, is the famous rallies in Nuremberg. They were designed to do good, or that was perceived good by the individual. But it depends on what the overall picture is. You have to remember that in constructing a metaconcept, the individuals that construct it, believing that it is for good, always believe it is for good. Take, for example, Mr. Adolf Hitler. He did not believe what he was doing was wrong. So therefore, in his opinion, it was good. So you have to look at the overall outcome of what is going to happen, or what you wish to happen, and see if what you wish to happen is good or bad.
Okay, let's take a theoretical case in which you've got the executive determined that they're going to use the metaconcept, but not everyone is in agreement on the right moral implications which you say. Does that mean that those people should possibly take on the metaconcept?
Yes. You have to remember if you have 8 individuals, the sum of the parts are more powerful together than the number of the pieces. Mash them all together, let's say you have, let's use the scale of 1 to 100. Everybody is 90, correct? You have 10 individuals, that is 900. However, with metaconcept, it's not quite like that. With a metaconcept, you would have 900 strength individuals. but in actual fact, it is more like 1,500, almost twice as powerful as the individuals involved. That is because it is more focused, and the strength of the energy being pulled in is multiplied by the individuals in the metaconsole by approximately a factor of 1.5. Okay, now, getting back to your little practice after the session is over, depending on how much time you have. What you do is you ignite a candle, you fire it up, arm collects the energy from the feline spread 1 and 2. You should give him practice on collecting energy. You use an energy crystal for fire. That way you can also have energy in your hand. Okay. And I will look to your back off the news. Live long, prosper, engage. One must be on. Okay, I like it. But you've read the wrong enterprise. La 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 la. Yes. Oh yes, we're going to reduce the effect of Mol's experiment. Because that would take another half hour. I would have wanted to make myself useful. Straighten things up. That's the dishes, which are nice and neat. And I would come back. I was going to put you into an astral travel state. But because of Mol's experiment, we can't do it. And we have carried the week after to it. Perhaps if we do carry to the last week, the channel, current channeling month,